Hi, two pinners. Artie and I are here to talk about your June directives. Yes, I know. Oh my gosh. All right, so your combination that you have this month is a 6-8. I just recently uploaded a video for the June energy, which is 6. And pop in, it's about 7 minutes long. Just have a listen because that's the terrain we're all moving through globally. And it is the number of community and making community across the board better than how we initially found it in the beginning of the month. So we have this jag of thinking outside of the box to make things better. So for you, how you're going to do this sprint run successfully is through the number 8. Now we're in an 8 global year, and this 8 frequency is, I take a deep breath. All of us are in relationship with success and prosperity and recognition. It is something that is the underpinning of living a life that is built on our own volition and our hard work and our focus and our commitment to who we are as human beings, and or really our spiritual essence is expressing here in some way, shape, or form. So it can be complicated in a couple of ways. One is really we have to face our challenges connected to success and prosperity. And where is that point where we are in right relationship with it? Your pipeline for success in community is through prosperity. So it's going to have something to do with money in some way, shape, or form, and giving of your time and your intellectual prowess and being able to figure things out. That's what the 2 pin is all about in the first place, right? But I guarantee you it will have deep legs in the needs of others. And that can look like your assets and your resources. The higher transcendence of the 8 is that there's a peace with prosperity, and there is alignment with money, stuff, and things, and recognition, and all challenges there have been faced, and then there's a release. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, it feels utopian, but there you have it. So what I'm going to tell you is, before we jump into what's going on with your business and your finances and your relationships and what's happening for you this month as you work with the 8 frequency in an 8 global year, and we're moving through community. I know across the board, globally, I fully expect to see change in one way, shape, or form that will hit the news waves. And each one of us has the opportunity to be in right relationship with our coupling. It's not one person that's going to alter the topography of the world. It is each person that is functioning inside of these communities that continually makes choices that are connected to the higher principles of love and integrity and inclusion, rather than hate, lack of integrity, and exclusion based on principles and things that really have nothing to do with anything except separation. We want to get to an environment where we are practicing inclusive practices. So this month we have this opportunity, all right? The pipeline here, this 8 energy, you've got 2 ways that you can choose, consciously choose, to show up every single day with this front loaded in your mental field. And here we go. All right, I think I've kind of said it. You're back and forthing your success and your abundance and your prosperity and with other people without anything there for an expectation of something is going to come back to you. I give you this, you give me that. You give because it's what they need, and you have no expectation of something in return. And the lower frequency, the lower pipeline, these lower vibrations that kind of rumble around are in lack. And I have to protect my resources, and I expect something in return. You're going to be bumping up against the places in your relationship with cash and money and stuff and things that are challenging to you. You will bump up against them. Lean into it. Lean into those moments. They are going to continually move through this month in every way possible, in your career, in your personal life, with your own bogeys for your own self-expression. They will pop continually, all right? So, and honestly, they're popping continually for all of us, as we are all challenged with this 8 global year to be in right relationship with exchange of goods. And how are we going about that, right? Every single one of us is bumping up against that. All right, so I'm gonna jump into your directives, guys, and let's see what we have here for you. Yep, I gotta get the light thing here. I would say also what is a part of the 6th energy is being with community. And so you guys actually do have a month, it's a little bit of a lighter month of taking care of people, that you get to go travel and you get to go play and have some you time, and to think about, you know, the fun side of having some form of abundance, which allows you to relax. It allows you to be in a place of, you know, life is good. And I like just hanging and relaxing with my peeps. There's going to be plenty opportunity for you to go play. And so I'm going to, you know, nudge you to go play. Yeah, the relationship piece is really a big one. For all things business, you guys are in full negotiation mode in your career, whatever your job is that you do. And again, I always have to grab my parents. That is a career. That is a job. So you are in full-time negotiation mode, and the bogey and the target is to try to find that thread between opposing points of view, to find that place that's somewhere in the middle that says, all right, can we agree on these points? Imagine if you were hired to do this job, and there are many counselors who are they're business counselors, there's a name for them, that go into companies, and this is exactly what they do. They don't have any personal skin in the game for the most part, right? This is the placement for you, that you're going to want to park it, even if it is within personal relationship status. Try to make this better than where it is now by the end of the month. And the reason why this is so important for you, because you have You're just beginning a jag here that is a 3-month run of things really popping for you in the realm of success, prosperity, and recognition. So the pockets that need some love and hug and snugging in relationship, that's what is being that's where your time should go. Hook, line, and sinker. Don't shy away from it. Remember the issue and the problem that the 2 personal year has is overgiving and then, just retreating and, taking off and you just disappear. Boundaries, balance, so that you give, but you don't overgive. I'm just getting all these tingles. You guys, this is so important for you. And I promise I will, I'm gonna try really hard to check in a couple of weeks, midpoint, to give you just a booster, to not give up. This balance point is necessary. Diplomatic relationship with people, negotiating with people, the queen archetype, who is on the throne and brokering different situations. That's you. And being insanely intuitive about your fields, which can oftentimes be uncomfortable, right? Because sometimes what people say and what they're doing are 2 totally different things. And that looks like you're not telling me the truth, you're lying. How do we go about this? Truth, not truth, wiggling the truth, trying to manipulate to get, what they want out of a situation. If this is in your work, if you're running, an organization, or if you have a group of people and they're vying for power and control and, being recognized, because this is the year that we're in. It's a little messy. The way you're going to get your own personal success, prosperity across the board, step back and pretend like you are a non-biased participant. You've been hired to do this job. Talk yourself into this every single day. Tell your mental field, this is how we're going to approach conflict with an eye on resolution. So that's what the 6th terrain is all about. And for you specifically, the way you're going to do this is talking and brokering money, where money goes, how it's going to function, what assets are there, how they're going to function, how can they best function, and then the higher principle. If we go to the higher spiritual mind of 8, it literally sitting in community. How can we better this community situation in a way that's supportive and loving and expansive and honestly respectful, right? I know it is not a tall order if you can do a couple of things. Focus in on knowing where your boundaries are, all right? Don't overgive, but continually give. Get your listening skills on. Don't take anything personally. Wow, I can't believe I almost forgot that one. Do not take anything personally, because at the end of the day, is anything really personal about ourselves coming from the outside in? Is anything? People can say, I just don't want to be with you anymore, or I just don't feel like you and I mesh anymore, or I don't feel like you're a right fit for this company, or I don't think that, I don't know, it just keeps going, right? Is that actually about us? That's where, just take a second and think, okay, hold on a minute. Don't take anything personally, because it will cause you to take off and retreat and go hide in your cave, and that's just a byproduct of taking things personally. I'm overgiving, I feel like a doormat, Nobody's, 2 and 6. This is 2 and 6. They do the doormat. I feel like I'm being used. I feel like all I do is I give and I give and I give. Yeah. So is that true? Behaviorally, if it's true, change that. Emotionally, if that's true, is that true? Is this about me? Just, take a minute and just say, wait, I'm going to suspend my disbelief for this month. Suspend your disbelief. Have faith in the world. Have faith in your relationships. Don't, fall into the negative aspect of the 6, which is I'm falling into bitterness. And just, I'm no longer believing in people. And yet people are constantly born all the time. And they are in relationships. So don't give up on the world. Don't give up on people. That's just my nudge. Regardless of what's going on in your life, guys, okay? So I think those are the big points. Finances, yes, finances are going to be easier this month. I tell you, what you have here is that you're just going back and forth with where money is going. There is one point that I want to bring up. Usually this happens in a 2, June. Somebody close to you probably is, you're noting a relationship close to you that you're not getting, like something's off, and something's up. They're not telling you all the details. Don't go digging for it. Let it cook. Don't pay attention to it. So the reason why this is even a part of these directives, I've been teaching these and working with clients for over 20 years with these, is that it's somebody close to you. It's somebody that you care about. And don't go for diggins. Don't dig. Let them go through this process, and more will come to light next month, and you'll be able to make decisions collectively with them that will help resolve the situation, all right? In an 8-month, you're moving into a 9-month. That's cleaning up the things that are, the tree needing to be trimmed, and then you move into the next month, which is a 1 month, and that's August, yeah. So, I got that right, yeah. So just keep your focus not in meddling in other people's affairs or getting pulled in that direction. Let the people around you breathe their own air. You are going to be busy enough if you, and successful, it's not an if, but you will be busy and successful. What do I want to say? How do I make this into a positive? If you fall into brokering disagreements, you want to leave this month better than how you found it. And your venue is 8. Money, assets, stuff, and things are on the table to be decided in all form of relationship, all right? I think that is probably it, 2 pinners, and I promise you I will jump in and have a midpoint check with you. And I'm so optimistic about all this for you that I completely forgot to talk about the negative. Lower pipeline. Nip this in the bud. If this starts to creep in, and do not allow it to take root. And that would be that you are hoarding resources and that you are panicked about there not being enough. And where's your cut in the mix? It's a discomfort with assets, and then you fall into paranoia that somebody is taking advantage of you. Negotiation, find the through line, stay present with communication of all forms. Know your boundaries, all right? Know when enough is enough so that you don't burn yourself out, All right, you guys, much love, and I will talk to you in a couple weeks.